More likely, it could be that Portsman wrote it during his farewell, or like when they were organizing the files, or it's gonna be one of those, this really meant something, and it's only unfortunate that it looked like it was indicating this person. A whole, what was it in Danganronpa? My dying words being the last name of this character who was going by a fake name this entire time, which happened to be the first name of this other character. Ooh. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. Also, I don't know if you remember at the beginning of this game, it straight up shows us that Portsman killed him. Killed Jim. So, like, I'm just enjoying this Portsman guy being like, you did it, and being, like, super dramatic. First case usually shows you who did it. Oh, fun. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. So, logic chess? No, wait, I don't like chess. Oh, man. Get ready for this minigame, I guess. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do? So, Rose, give me the details. Is this a good game, though? Not just this minigame, the entire game. What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. Second one's better, okay. Well, I have the second one, so I'm ready. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Might as well, I need the tutorial. Alright, first, I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open the organizer and present the piece of contradictory evidence. Wait, yeah, this is just a cross-examination. To present something, I simply touch the present button, but that's old news. I might have mistaken, I thought this was a mini-game. But it's not like there's gonna be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct. And at those times I need to this is just cross-examination. I've been bamboozled. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Well, we'll have to see if they bring out logic chess. Very well, I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, You didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Remember, everyone has a -1 perception during a murder case. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. I mean, I'm glad they at least recognized it as words and weren't like 01610. What could that mean? You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Humph. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portman? Everyone in these... Yeah, they are. And in Zero Escape. I mean, he has his own logic button, so he's obviously one of the smartest people here. There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. So, time to rebuttal. Stole Jim's gun. Furthermore, and that's when you move Jim's body. Yeah, I think Jim's gone. If I look at it, yeah, I think that one is definitely an interesting thing. I don't know whether to say that it was an attempted theft, that there was clearly someone who tried it, or... Oh wait, I don't have the note. I was looking for where they're like, oh, it was clearly undone, but that's in my logic. Maybe I'm gonna say that it wasn't attempted theft. Also, he hasn't set up a motive. You stole Jim's gun. Believed to be the murder weapon, only one shot fired. Uh-oh. Accidentally hit a button, which isn't what I wanted. Maybe I'll present with... I don't know which to present with. Both are feeling kind of iffy for me. I'm gonna do secret save because I feel like this was an actual theft. I must object to your line of logic. And which part do you have an objection to? It's... I know, but I don't press usually, which is my downfall. Pressing's weird too, especially when it's like one of those moments where like you have to press in a specific order. Okay, let me press here. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jacques and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jam? No, they don't. But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. That was his undercover name. I don't speak French, and I don't know how to. Or is it just like Jacques? Jacques and Buddy. Jacques and Jim? Oh, okay. Wow, I've learned so much. Jacques and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys that decided to nickname Jim. That sounds super fake. That's like something you would say to cover up the fact you didn't know someone's real name. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. Furthermore, do you really think it was necessary to deceive my shells twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Jacques Portsman. No, I can't think about a pun for that. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. I mean, he does live like a college student, eating ramen every day. I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but see? I know it. That's the mood. Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Oh, wait. No. He couldn't... Wait. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. Right. That's when you move the body. Furthermore, you messed up the files. You didn't notice the bloody letters he was hiding. Upon the... Oh, no, wait, this is what wouldn't make sense, because a file was clearly stolen, but the letters are on top of it, so he would have noticed. There we go. It took me a bit, but I figured it out. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Heh, bringing a bit of the courtroom into this. I see. No problem. I'm game. But I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. Ha ha ha. If you have time to laugh, then you have time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? Oh wait, I get it now. That's an H. That's cut off. I was trying to figure out the letterings, but I'm just silly. What? That's impossible. What's impossible? I thought it was the S, and I was like, oh, well, you can tell it's not really Gumshoe's name because that's the S, and it's clearly misspelled. Like, someone was trying to guess Gumshoe's name and misspelled it. But no, that's just a cut-off H. I have moments of smartness and moments of incredible, stupidity. What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering her partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean the S is gone, and there's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Get dunked on, Danganronpa. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Gasp. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman? Ha 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 ha. Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. Yeah, why does he, like... I've kind of really glossed over this, but why does he wear a gold medal and just hold his cape there forever and have one of the highest collars I've ever seen? I've, really glossed over that. Probably because, in terms of most designs, he is one of the most tame, but it's still out there. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Meh. You win some, and you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. Character design. I mean, yes, I figured he's the sports guy, but sports people don't even look like that. This is extreme sports guy. But it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. Now he's gonna blame us, and he's gonna be like, if it's not Gumshoe, it's you, Edgeworth. What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. Oh. Wait. Decide if you want your jacket on or off. Look at that hesitation. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? He's so indecisive. Look at him. He's like, I just need to air out my jacket. It's too hot, but it's too cold. He's got that spring feel. Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with a key to this office? One other person. You there. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you Oh, no, this is someone totally else. Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? I've heard of those. This girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No. Stop it, pal. Don't. What? What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. Oh, it's Maggie! Maggie Byrd! That explains it. I thought it was going to be someone we don't know. But that makes sense. It's Maggie! I have called upon Miss Maggie Byrd, a member of security. Oh, she's so sad. Don't worry, they'll get patched up, but oh, she's so sad. Detective Gumshoe, sir. I like her little jacket. Maggie. Oh, to person in the chat who doesn't know this game well, Gumshoe has a crush on Maggie, but she got fired from the police station after getting caught up in a murder case. I mean, no, I hate the blue badger. It haunts my dreams and is terrible to look at. But I like her jacket. It's got feathers. And then she got caught up in another murder case, but her and Gumshoe made amends, and she's a cursed person but she's wonderful. Miss Byrd is the security guard on watch tonight. Oh no, is she gonna be is she gonna get accused of murder again? I see, and your point is... My point is that she very well could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key. The master key, oh no, which can open all the office doors in this building. Oh, what? Why does this keep happening to her? If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Byrd. No! How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. Gumshoe, no! I know she's innocent, but don't take the blame for her. It was me. That's right, I did it. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? I hate this guy. Well, it really wasn't me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. Gumshoe is #1 Maggie Byrd backer. He's got her back. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Oh no, he's gonna get indecisive with his jacket again. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. I'm getting such Cabanella vibes. He's gonna start dancing soon. That girl is the only one who could have committed this crime, and for one simple reason. No, she's innocent. I'm gonna cross-examine again. It's pretty obvious that Miss Byrd snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Byrd as our prime suspect. On top of that, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? He's doing like one of those I've won the medal poses, making it all that more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. I haven't. I actually thought it was, like, when they said the lady, I assumed it was the person who was on the title box art. So when it was Maggie, I was thrown for a loop. So you're saying, hi Nizar Play, welcome back. We're playing Investigations. So far, we just found out Maggie's a suspect again, and we're protecting her innocence. So you're saying she used the master key. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Byrd who could have used the master key. It seems like the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. I'm glad they, like, outright told me, use the press button. I'm gonna say press on. That leaves only Miss Byrd. Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know, I've never made a spare. So what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that. Someone like you would. I'm gonna press that as well. Are you sure Miss Byrd is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight, she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Byrd? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes. Moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. Uh-oh. Hitting something. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Byrd out? Yes. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in what Miss Byrd has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Byrd, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean by missing? Means missing. Gone. As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony. Don't you? Oh. Sigh. I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. As he struggles with his jacket, honestly, it gets me every time. I'm not lying, sir. If that's the case, then I'd like to know, why you have the master key now? I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Ha! A likely story. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it, and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. I mean, yeah. She's super unlucky. Poor girl. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal. Trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But, you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves, and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore that the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counteract with a few facts of my own. Alright. I'd say thievery. Let's see. If we say it's thievery, do we have a contradiction for thievery? Maybe I'll press again on this, just to see. I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery. However, Glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. You're right. Showing my badge is all the evidence I'll ever need in life. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe, hey, good thinking, asking for my opinion on the matter. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence? Alright, so her intent. Maybe say it was the files? I mean, it was only one file, which is odd. But I don't feel like that's a contradiction. Oh, wait, does this have a key lock? Because then, maybe not. Does the master key only open every office door? Because my question would be, if you can open everything, then she wouldn't have tried to break in. She would have gotten it. I'm going to try this. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Byrd was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth after all. I'm right, but I use the wrong logic. It's like in math when you get the right answer, but you use the wrong equation. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. Oh, you're right. Yep. The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. Gasp. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Narg. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then, are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? I mean, outlandish. He's like sweating bullets. Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. Nerg. He didn't say that, but he's got dots. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? I... Curses! Why? What made you... What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. And totally not me. He knew about the existence of secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. And he totally wasn't inspecting the fact. He was totally not undercover investigating me personally. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know. I had only just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief? And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Byrd? Excuse me? He's just throwing out wild accusations. I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of murder? Yes and no. I mean, she stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Stop trying to pin the murder on this poor woman. They keep doing it. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Ah! Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless... Well, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. And then, instead of calling it in like a regular security guard should do, you instead decided to frame it on a police officer. Yes, the perfect, sensical progression of events. Mr. Portman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything to make sense. Has he no honor? See, Edgeworth is like, you should still stick by your detective's side. This is why him and Gumshoe are bros. Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. He didn't even investigate. All he did was stand by the body and be like, yes, this is so tragic, and I totally didn't do this. Man, I'm gonna blame everyone else. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? He's kicking Edgeworth out of his own office. You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. What? When did that happen? You are all suspects to varying degrees, and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir, we have no choice but to accommodate his request. For now. Yeah, screw this guy. We're gonna prove him a murderer. Haha, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again. And I'm gonna take you down. If there's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? I'm gonna disappoint you by getting you thrown in jail, you son of a gun.